Right, so we've got 10 people watching now, so I'm going to start. So like I said, I'm going to be doing a landscape painting. I'm using an A2 canvas for this, and I'm going to be painting on an easel again. This will be the only second time painting like a landscape on an easel or something. So the first one went pretty well, I quite like that. So I'm going to start off here with the sky. So I'm going to go with a darker blue first. Like I said, if you've got any questions or anything, feel free to ask in the comments because I can read them while I'm painting. I'm just going to add some blue in for the sky, different shades of blue. Like I said, I won't be talking that much because as you can hear, my voice is a bit dodgy today, a bit croaky. So I'm just putting some base colours down for the sky, some blues. So that's a few blues in, so I'm just going to step back, have a look how that's looking at the moment. I think I might add a bit of white to it. And I'll go over it with a bit of lighter blue. Bit of spitting from the caps there. Colour that up in a minute. So just put a bit of darker blue in, just build the background up a bit. Sky, just have a look at that. I don't know really what's wrong with my voice. I woke up with it this morning like it is, but I don't know. I plan to do a live today, so I'm going to carry on doing it. Should be alright, I think. Right, now I'm going to add some cloud shapes using this cloud stencil. So I'll just use a white. I'll just spray it light, get some shapes. Just keep moving your stencil so you get different patterns on your clouds as well. Cap spitting a bit, I'll just give it a bit of a clean back. Go back with a cloud stencil. Add a few more in. A couple up here. Don't know why this cap's spitting. I'm going to get rid of it and put a new cap on, I think, because I don't want all this spitting in the background. So like I said in my previous videos, if you watch any of my other videos on the channel, I like to take my time while I'm painting and enjoy what I'm painting. So that's why my videos are long and I take my time on things, because I enjoy painting. So there's no point rushing or anything when you're painting. Just take your time and enjoy it. Does the paint. So go back to these clouds, just a bit of white underneath. Go to a blue. Put a bit of blue under some of them. I'll just darken it up a bit. Got a bit of sky blue. So I hope that helps the boys by the cats. So this is the second time I've done a live stream, so I'm still learning and that. I'm getting used to it. I suppose the more I do, the better I'll get. So just put a bit of white here. I'm just going to step back, have a look at that. So I'm quite liking that now, the clouds and that, the sky. So what I'm going to do now is move on to some mountains. So for this, I'm going to be using a paintbrush and the black, and I'm just going to put a base coat down for the mountains. Sorry about my voice again. So just get a piece of spare card and some black and spray it on. Just get some on the spare piece of card like that. I've also bought a new thing for my phone so it can constantly charge and also have my microphone in at the same time. So hopefully I don't have to worry about the phone going dead like the last live video I did. So now we've got some black paint down on a spare piece of card. We'll add the mountains in. So I'm going to have them here in the middle, I think. So I'm going to have, I'm not sure, I'll have one there. I find it easier to put the base coat down the black with a paintbrush, but you could also cut like a stencil out and spray it straight out of the can and do it that way. But I like doing this way because you can get like different shapes and that. Just step back, see how that's looking. I'll bring that up a bit bigger. Like that. And I'll put another one there. No rush when you're doing these, just take your time. Like I said in my other videos, there are others that can paint a lot faster than me, but like I said, I enjoy painting, so I don't rush things, because if I'm rushing it, you can make mistakes, easy mistakes. that you could avoid if you took your time. So you can see the paint's getting a bit thick on this brush. So what I've done is got a pot of acetone here. Just dip my brush in here. And then the paint, freeze the paint up then so it's easier. And it goes on a bit smoother again then. Just go a bit more black. Also as well, this Montano gold dries pretty fast as well when you're doing stuff like this. So if you notice, I keep spraying a bit more onto a spare sheet, because if it gets too dry as well, it's hard to paint with. So I'm just going to bring this one up a bit more, I think. Step it over there. Let's have a look how they're looking. So I'm quite liking that. Might just bring it off here, last one. Yeah, so I like how that's looking. Hi Tom. I'm just gonna put one there like that, I think. Just clean the balm up a bit, I think that'll do. So now we've got the base for the mountains in. We're going to add some highlights, white or whatever colour you want on the highlighted area. So for this I use a piece of card, just a tiny piece of card like this. I prefer using a card than a palette knife or something like that. I find it easier, well I do, but you might find using a palette knife or something better. So all I do is rip it so you haven't got a straight edge like that, you've got more of a different edge, so when you're doing it you don't get like straight edges kind of thing. For those that have joined me, sorry about my voice, it's a bit croaky this morning, or this afternoon should I say. We get some white like this on the card, spare piece of card. What I'm going to do is dip a bit in. I'm going to start with this one first. In fact, looking at that, I might. Yeah, in fact, where's me? I'm going to change this a bit, looking at it. I'm going to bring that out there like that. And then I might step it like that. Yeah. Yeah, I think I like that more. Right, so back to the painting. So we've got the base down for the mountain, so we'll start putting the white in with the card. So I'm going to start, I think I'm going to start on this one here. So just make sure you haven't got too much white paint on this card. And then I'm going to start here. So all we're going to do is just move down like that and just rub it on. It doesn't matter if the background's still wet, the black, because that can mix with the white and give you different shades of white. And like I said, this is the second time doing landscape on an easel like this. But I'm enjoying doing these paintings like this. It's a bit different than painting flat on a table, but I suppose the more you do it, the more use you get to it. So another thing I said in my last live when doing mountains, and you're doing them like that, it's always best to step away from them and have a look to see what they look like. Right, so we'll move on to the next one. So I'm just going to bring that one down a bit like that. So step away, have a look at that. So like that. I'll go on to this one here. And the same as all the other mountains. You could use browns or anything when you're doing these mountains. It's up to you what colours you put on there. Just do this one here. And back to this one. Like I said, it's only my second time live streaming, so there are some gaps and pauses in the live stream. I'm just making sure the phone's still running and that, and the Wi-Fi hasn't dropped out. Just put a bit on this one here. I'll bring that down a bit like that. Right, just step away and have a look at that now. So I'm quite liking how that's looking. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get another piece of the card. Different size one. I'm just going over a bit of this white. So I'll get some fresh paint as well. I'm just going to go over a bit of it. Got a smaller piece so it's easier to do the smaller ones, smaller peaks. Put a piece on. Let's have a look at that. So I'm quite liking the look of them mountains. I think they turned out really good. I really like them. I'm just going to step away and have a look at them. Yeah, I like the look of them. So what you can do now, if you wanted, you can put some blue in the shaded area. So I'm just going to put a bit of blue, I think, in places. So I'll go with a darker blue. I'm going to use Mount Fuji. So you got this kind of blue. Then we're going to be putting it on with the card again. So I'm going to get another piece of card, fresh piece. And then we're going to go the opposite side now. So we're going to come this way. So as we put the highlights that way, we'll come with a shadow this way. So just make sure you haven't got that much on your card or your poly knife. Bit tricky doing it from this side and not getting in the way of the camera. That piece is not very good. Well, let me get another piece of card. I think that piece will do. I got another piece of card here, because that one wasn't very good. I'm trying not to get my head in the way so you can see. Like I said, if you've got any questions or anything, feel free, because I can read the comments. So I'm not putting much blue in it, just putting bits and bobs here and there, just to break it up a bit. Plus painting on an easel, it's something new to learn as well. So that's why I'm taking my time as well, because I'm still learning. Some things will work the same as painting on a table, others may not work as well. So just put some blue on them ones, so I'm just going to have a look at that. Or doing something like that. So back to the shadowed area on the mountains. So just bring it down here between these two. I'm just going to carry this down a bit. So I can't really see properly what I'm painting at this angle, but I think it's looking nice, looking well. I'm quite liking it. Just have a look at that blue I've just put in there. Like I said, I do take my time when I'm painting. I'll just put a bit more blue here, I think. So I'm liking how them mountains are looking. Just going to put a bit here, I think. So let's have a look at that. There's probably more, so I don't really know. Right, so we've got the mountains in. I'm liking them mountains now, and what I'm going to do now is put some mist. Yeah, looking at them. No, actually, I know what I'm going to do first before the mist. Get a bit more white. I'm also painting this painting with no idea no plan kind of thing. So I'm just going with the flow kind of thing. So I had a kind of idea in my head what I wanted to do, but like all things change as you're painting them. So I'm just going to get a bit of white, and I'll put the blue in, and I'm just going to bring a bit of white on some of these edges, just to bring it out a bit. So I'm not sure how long this light's going to be, because like I said, it take me time. Right, so looking at that, I'm just going to go back there. Put a bit more white on these. See, I had a bit too much there on me piece of card. I'll just bring it down a bit. Right, the thing I'll do now for them mountains, I'm liking them. So what I'm going to do now is get the white, and I'm just going to mist at the bottom of them. So when you're misting, just give the cap a light press and just go back and forth across the bottom. So quite like that. I'm just going to mist this out a bit more this side. Right, so I'm liking them mountains there. I think they look really well. So like I said, I don't really have a plan on this painting. So I've got the mountains here. I think most probably add some trees like the last live here across the bottom. Yeah, I think some trees or summer. Yeah, do some trees first. Let's get another piece of card in the black. I'm going to use this flat brush. Let's get some acetone somewhere, wet the brush back up. Now I'm going to start here, some smaller ones. So we're just going to go up and down motion. I'm going to bring some bigger ones as I come to the front. Like I said, painting on an easel's a bit different than painting on a table. So I'm bending down a bit here to do these trees. I'll just put them in first and then I can go over them again in a minute. Let's see how they're looking. It's quite liking that. Sorry if my big head's in the way. Right. Right, so that's a tree line and one across there. So I'm going to go back over them again now. So your paint's drying out a bit. Because I'm in the garage and the wind's blowing straight on where the paint is, so it dries pretty fast. And once the paint starts drying, it doesn't really move as well when you're painting with a brush. Because like I said, the Montana Gold's a bit of a thicker paint, being acrylic and stuff like that. So I've got a bit too much on my brush there. I'll be alright. So I'll just go over these few trees here. Right, so I'll have a look at that. What I think I'll do is bring the trees out here a bit, try and get smaller and smaller. Just make sure you don't get too much on your paintbrush. So like that. And for anyone joining, my voice is a bit croaky today. I don't know why I woke up with like a croaky voice, but I wanted to do a live today, so I decided to do one anyway. So sorry if my voice sounds a bit dodgy, funny. Let's just add a few big ones here in the middle. Like I said, I could rush these paintings, but I enjoy painting with spray paint and making these paintings, painting them, so I don't rush. I know they're long, or they can be long, but I just enjoy painting, so there's no point rushing when you're enjoying something. So there are the trees in now. Right, now I've got the trees in there. I'm going to add some water here at the bottom. But first, I'm just going to do a bit of black underneath. And I'm just going to mist them out with a bit of these trees, so you look a bit back in the distance. Just get the black first and just go at the bottom of these. So I'm just going to press the cap lightly here, not to let much paint out. So like I said, if you're painting mountains or something like this, it's always best to step away from the painting, have a look after each part you do. Because I find when painting like on a table, or you're close up like this, you can't really see what the painting's looking like when you're close up. So even when you're on a table, because you're pretty close when you're painting, so just step away and have a look at it. See what you like, if you like it, or you want to add anything else to it. So I'm liking how this is looking now. I like the trees and that. So we'll move on to the next part. So what I'm going to do is get the white paint. We're just going to mist, slight mist in front of each trees. So we're just going to press the cap down lightly. And we're just misting. Quite like that. If you put too much mist down, you might cover the trees up and lose them. So just have a look at that. So I'm liking how that's looking. The mist just under the tops of the trees. So now we've got them in, I'm going to move on to the water here. So for this I'm just going to use some blues. The last live stream I did on the easel and I did the water, it turned out really well. I really liked it. So hopefully this one will turn out as well good. First up I'm going to start with the darker blues here and then work into the middle with the lighter blues. So really when you're doing this, adding the colour for the colours down for the water, you're just really chucking the colours down because you want to try and put them down fast enough so it doesn't dry too fast. Because if it dries too fast, you're not going to get it mixing the colours. So I'm just going through each of the shades of blue. It's up to you, this can work with any colours. It can work with reds and stuff like that, any colour you want. So I sprayed a bit too much there, it's running down. But paint on an easel, you're upright. But that should be alright because when we mix it in a minute. So I'm going to put a bit of white there. What I think I might do is, like I did in the last one, where's that? I'm going to put a bit of aqua in it, because I quite liked how that turned out last time. So I've got a bit of aqua there. So I think this is still wet. But what you could do, if it dries out, you can just put a bit of clear coat on it to wet the paint back up. So for this, use your fingers and you're just going to rub it back and forth across the painting. So we're going to see it's a bit dry there on the edges. So I might have to wet this up in a minute. As you can see where the paint's a bit thicker running. And it's a lot harder on an easel doing this. But like I said in the last live video, and if you've seen some of my other videos recently on my channel, that I've started painting on an easel more. I'm quite enjoying it, to be honest. It's something different as well, instead of painting on a flat surface all the time. Hi, it's me. Thank you. Right, so that's a bit dry there, that water. Like the aqua's still there now, it hasn't mixed up properly. So what I'm going to do is use some clear coat to wet it back up. So clear coat what I use is a Montana clear coat. It's varnish, but it's the same thing, clear coat. I use this one because I use a Montana gold. I'm not sure if any other ones would work with a Montana gold or not, but I like to keep the brands all together because different brands may react with each other, and then you get like bubbling or cracking of the paint and stuff like that if they react. So I try and keep to the same paint when I'm doing the paintings. Even like Montana makes different, the range is like different. You've got Montana white, Montana black, Montana gold. The Montana black, the Montana gold and the Montana white can react with each other, but they're made from the same company, if you know what I mean. But they're two completely different paints. So you just got to watch out when you're mixing paint, using different clear coat, stuff like that. You might get a reaction. And also, clear coat if it does react, it can like leave white smears on your finished painting if you give the final painting a coat of clear coat, like leave white, like a white mist or something where it's kind of reacted, or it can bubble up and stuff like that. So just be careful when you're doing things. Try and use the same brand of paint, same brand of clear coat of the paint you're using, if that brand makes a clear coat. Whether it's better like this or not. So right, back to the clear coat now and the water. So this is pretty much, this most probably dry now, so we'll just put a light coat on. So I think that's enough. So I'll just see if it's wet enough. No, it needs a bit more. If it runs, it runs. I'm going to put a lot on here, so I should wet it up. Right. Yeah, see, it's a lot wetter now. As you can see, the paint's mixing a bit more now. So have a look at that. I think I'm going to leave that like that. Quite liking that. There are a bit of aqua still in it, but breaks up the water a bit. Breaks up the sky and the water. A bit of different colour in the water. So I'm liking that. So what you could also do here, because I've lost a bit of a white there, you could spray a line of white again, and we could just mix it up again. I'll just rub it, because the paint's drying out of it, it gets harder to move. So the more you start moving the paint, the more build up it gets, and it starts clogging up and getting thick. But this might be just a Montana Gold, because it's pretty thick paint. Other paints are thinner, like the Rust-Oleum and stuff like that. It's a thinner paint. That's one of the main reasons why I made that series about all the different spray paints and made each video with each of the cans, just to show you that every paint's different, and some are thinner and some are more thicker, and things work different and stuff like that. So I'm just going to step back. I'm liking how that's looking. You could also, as well, now you've got the water in there, but it's going to be a bit wet now because I put quite a bit of clear coat on, so this paint's going to be wet. It'll take a while to dry as well with a clear coat on. So what you could do is you could get a piece of card again. Card really handy, spare pieces of card when you're painting with spray paint. What you could do is just add a bit of white here and there, so it looks like the waves, looks like the water's moving. So I think why I've got the paint and why I'm doing this and why I'm explaining things, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a bit of that just to show you. So get another piece of spare card, because you want to have a piece of spare card and not use one that you've used before, because you want the paint to be white. So we're just going to get a bit of white on here, and for this it's the same as doing the mountains and the white. So I'm just going to rip a bit off like that. It's up to you how you do it. If you're using a card, you could rip it off or leave it straight, or you could use a palette knife, anything like that. It's up to you. You'll find which tool is best for you. So I find the card better, you might find the palette knife better. It's all up to the individual, which one you find works best for you. Same goes for the spray paint. If you like a certain spray paint but everyone else is using something different, as long as you like using it and you enjoy painting with it, you use the one you like, not what other people say to use, if you know what I mean. I've used Montana Gold because I like it, not because someone said, oh, that's the best paint or something. I'm not sure. Good question. Right, so got a bit of white on this card. Yeah, I didn't know it's been an hour so far, 60 minutes. So all I'll do is just give a white and we're just gonna rub it on the painting here and there. So it just breaks up a bit. I'm not going to put much on here. Just to show you how you can add the white on. Put a bit there. It's still really wet, this paint is, because I used a clear coat. So I think we're going to have some background noise now in a minute, so just going to have to bear with me if you can't hear anything. So just put one more here. So I'm not going to put any more in now, I just want to show you how to put these on. Put like a bit of waves or show the water's moving or something like that. So that'll do for that. Now we've got the water here, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mist it out between the water and the trees and the mist and that. So what you could do, I did say in the last video, you could use a tool for this. Where is it? So if you're doing a mist between it, you could use a tool like this. This is a large paint scraper. And what you could do is place it on there like that and do your line on the water. But I'm not going to use this, it's just an example what you can do like that. But because I've used clear coat on this water, it's going to be wet, so if I use this, it's going to stick to the paint and leave a big line across the paint there. So I'm not going to do this. I'm going to sit that to one side. I'm just going to spray it out of the can the same as I did this mist here on the trees and on the mountain. So I'm just going to use the white. So like that. Like that mist there. So this is where I stopped on the last painting. I got to around here and then my camera was going dead. But I wanted to add some trees in that in the last one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some trees and some bushes here or something in the foreground. Yeah, so like I said, there's not really a plan for this painting, so I'm just going to have a look at it. Yeah, some trees here first. So get some black. I'm going to use some black, I think. Oh, so I'll use some brown. Why not? Where's my brown? Got a bit of brown here. Yeah. Got a bit of brown and black, I think. Put that there. Not sure how this will work. Let's just mix some brown and black together. Right, so I'm gonna have a few here, I think. So let's bring one there. Trouble with the canvas, it is slightly different painting on a canvas than it is glossy card, because it kind of soaks the paint up, stuff like that. I shouldn't soak the paint up now, but it's not a smooth surface like glossy card, so when you're painting you're going over some of the things because it's not completely smooth, so you get like gaps and that, but that's alright, you can cover that up when you're doing stuff. So down a tree there, I think I might have one here. Don't really want to cover these mountains up, so I'm just going to have a couple of trees here. So you paint it a bit thick. Right. So I've got a bit of brown on there now, a bit more brown. So I like that one. Let's bring this one in. So I'll have them two trees there, I think. I'm liking that. Let me just tidy some of this out of the way. Right. So now we've got two trees there, two trunks. I like to do them first when I'm doing the trees. I'm going to be putting some leaf branches in now. So for this, I'll use a sponge for that. Just a piece of sponge cut up, ripped up. So all I do is fold it up. So it's like that in your hand. I'm going to get some black. I'm not sure how this is going to turn out because this will be the first time doing a tree upright on an easel, so it's always good to try something new. Right, so we start small up the top. So we're just pressing the sponge down as we go. And getting wider and wider. A bit more black. What I might do for this as well is I might add some green onto this. I'm not sure yet, see how it looks. So as we go down we'll get wider and wider. And it gets thicker and thicker as we get to the bottom. I need some more black paint on this. So I'm just going to step away and have a look at that. So I'm liking that one for now. Let's go on to this one. So you can get another piece of sponge. So just rip the sponge up so you get different shapes and just crunch it up into your hand. And you just got to watch sometimes. Like I said, it's the first time doing them on an easel, so something different. So I'm not really sure how they're going to turn out. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, it is. The stream's a bit long, but I'm just taking my time, enjoying it, enjoying painting. I could have done it a lot faster than this, but I don't mind. If you're enjoying something, take your time. There's no point rushing anything if you're enjoying it. So we'll just go back to these trees, fill them in a bit more. I think I might add some green on these, I think. I'm not sure yet. I'll have a look in a minute. What do you reckon? Should I put a bit of green on these? Or leave them black? Right, let's just have a look at that. It's got them there. I've got a sponge still in my hand. Just do that there for a minute. So I'm going to have some bushes down here, I think. Yeah, I'm going to do a bit of green, I think, on it. Why not? So just have some bushes or something here. Why not? Like I said, when you're painting, it's your painting. You can add whatever you want into your paintings. So let's have a look at that. Yeah, I'm liking that. I'm liking that, so. Right. So just before I add some green and some colour to these trees, I'm just going to finish the top off on here. This one, I think. Just extend it a bit. And now I've done that, I'll get hopefully the more I stream, I should get a bit faster with it. Right, so I'm just going to put a line up through here just to bring the trees up a bit. Put the top on the trees. Just use a brush. Put it there. Right, so I'm liking how them trees are looking. Quite like it. So I purposely left this area clear because I wanted to put some trees in there, and I left it because I didn't really want to cover the mountains up. So that's why I've done the mountains more over this way than here. So I've left it so I could bring some trees here and that. I could have brought them a bit higher, something like that, but I quite like that, how it's looking. What do you... So like I said, I'm going to do these green, I think. Put a bit of green on these. So, What greens have I got? Got some greens here, so I'm going to be using shot green dark first. I'll spray some on a spare piece of card. What you could do here as well is, when you're doing a green or something, putting colour on your trees or something, you could put the colours you're using all down in one go. So you could, but it's hard to show you on this because I'd have to hold it up. So and then you could get a light green. So sometimes what people do is they get a bit of dark green on the sponge on one edge, then that in the middle, the next green, and a lighter green on the other side. So when you put it on, you have a dark in the middle, and then as you get closer to the edge, the lighter green shows up. But I just prefer putting each colour on and working out. But it's up to the individual which way you find works best for you. Doing that all together, it's a lot faster as well. But like I said, I don't bother rushing when I'm painting. So I'll get a piece of sponge for this. Find a decent piece. Right, so I've got another piece of sponge here. I'm going to add the dark green first. So I'm not really sure how this is going to go, but let's give it a go. I could have put the dark green down first before the black, but so I'm going to start here down here, I think. So I'm just going to press it lightly. Leave these bushes as well while I'm here. I think a few bushes there. So I'm going to start with the bushes there down here. So that's where I'm going to have the bushes, I think. Like that. Like that, so it's going to be a bit dark there. So now with the sponge we're going to do the trees. So I'm just going to press it light. Not covering all the black. I like using the sponge for trees and stuff like that. I find it gives a different texture in that. You get some nice texture. So like I said, this first time painting on an easel trees. And I don't really do much coloured trees with the greens and that. I normally keep them mostly black. For this one I'll do doing green, see what they're like. I'm not sure how they're going to turn out, but there's only one way to find out, and that's to do them. Thank you, the boys, and I've spaced out. Thank you, it's no problem. I enjoy making the videos and filming them, so that's why I do it, because I enjoy it. And I like to help others learn something new, new hobby. I know it's not a well-known form of painting, this spray paint art, but I think the more people see it, I think people enjoy it, like it. It's really a real fun way to paint. I really like it. Thank you, I spaced out. It means a lot to hear that. that have inspired you to start painting again. It's really nice to wear. So now we've got this dark green on these trees here, which I'm quite liking. I'm going to put the next green in, but I'm going to, which is just a shot green. I'm going to add some more to this because the paint's dried out. Like I said earlier on in the video, this Montana Gold's pretty thick paint, so if you leave it for a bit and you get a bit of wind or the sun's on it or something like that, it dries pretty fast and then you can't work with it. You'll see in my next painting, my next video, where I paint it outside on an easel again. I was asked a question on my the last video I did with the sun or star coming from behind the planet on an easel. I was asked a question about, because I held the stencil in place with my hand and then sprayed all around it. One of the questions was, can you do it without holding the lid stencils? So I've done a video and I put a few planets and painted on an easel like this without using my hands or anything to hold the stencils. So quite like the idea I come up with. So that'll be in the next video coming sometime in the next few days or something. So going back to the next shade of green, I'm going to put it even lighter now. So I'm going to leave a bit of this dark here on the bushes. So it's not going to show up very well yet. And then I'm going to just put it, not on it all now, just here and there. I'm not going to put it all the way down to the bottom either on these. Okay, it's up to you what you add in your painting. Just leave a bit of this darker green in places. Just step away. Okay, so I think I just put a bit more in, not much. Right. Just a bit more here and there. So I'm just pressing in random areas, but not covering all the dark green that we put on beforehand. If you're just joining, thanks for stopping by and watching. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, because I can read them. I'm using the tablet as well, so I can read the comments while I'm painting instead of going back to my phone like the previous stream that I did, the live stream. So now I've got a bit of lighter green on there, quite liking that. I know I'm taking my time with these trees and that, but I've not done trees like this on an easel before, so something new for me to learn. So I've got to keep spraying some paint on there because it keeps drying up pretty fast. And also when I'm doing the green on these trees, I'm still using the same sponge, so I'm not changing the sponge. You could do, it's up to you, but I'm just going to use the same sponge. I might change it in a minute, just depends how this comes out. So I've got some lighter green on here now. I'm just going to go on the edges now. Just moving the sponge around so you get like different patterns. Not sure how this is going to work, but anything, give it a try and see. So I'm just going to put a... I'm going to leave it down there because it's a bit darker, and it also breaks the bushes up from the trees. It gets fiddly when you get up these tops with the green, with the sponge. I'll just put a bit here now. I'm not going to put much this side, I don't think. Just where the light's hitting it. Just here and there, I think. Let's have a look at that. I'm not sure how these are looking. I think they're looking alright. Have a look. Right, back to the light green now. So painting landscapes do take a bit longer, I find, than painting a space painting or something like that. I'm not sure how this tree's going to turn out, these trees, but like I said, I've just put a bit too much hair on the top, but that's alright. Well, let's have a look at that. So I'm quite liking that. Quite liking that tree, them trees there. Yeah, I'm liking how they look. I think what I might do is, I'm just going to get a clean piece of sponge, a tiny piece, just something like that. I wasn't planning on this video being this long, but never mind. I'm enjoying it. So we've got a clean piece of sponge, so the paint's going to be a bit more greener now because it's just got the light green on. So just going to do a bit on the edges. Bring it up here a bit. Bit on here. Don't want too much down there because there's not much light on there. So let's just have a look. Right, so I like that. I'm going to leave that like that, I think, these trees. What do you reckon to them? I quite like them. Quite like the bushes at the bottom and the trees there. Quite like them. And if you're just joining me, voice is a bit croaky in that. I don't know why I woke up with it. So now I put the trees in this side. I I just want to put something here, I think. Well, let's go back to the black. Fact, I know what I'm going to do. There's that dark brown. I'll put some bushes in first down here. I'm not going to put much. Right, let's have a look. Let's have a look. Right, so I'm going to do some here. So I'm just going to stop a minute because we've got to stop and let them get on with what they're doing and then carry on afterwards. So like I said, some of that will be cut out when I put this live, so I'll go back to these bushes. So what do you reckon I should put here? I'm thinking I'm just going to put a tree. Not one of these, not like a conifer tree or a pine tree, something like that, just like a normal tree. And have some leaves or something here at the top. And just bring the trunk down or something, like a big tree or something. Just bring that there like that. I think I'll have that. So that's a bit of black down for these bushes. Good idea anyway. By the beach. Yeah, why not? I'm going to add, put a tree there. Like I said, I'm just going with the flow with this one. I know it's a long video, a long stream. Yeah, right, so I'm going to do a tree here, I think. Yeah. Right, so I'm going to do it brown. Get brown and black. Get some brown. And some black. You can go one or two ways. Yes, you can wreck the painting or what. You don't know until you try. So just mix some brown and black up. See what it's like. I'm going to put a big tree here. Yeah, why not? So I'll have it like coming here, right on the edge. So, let's see. Oh, maybe drop some paint off that. It's lucky, so I'm going to go, yeah, why not? So I'm just putting a line in first. Let's just bring it off. Yeah, why not? Oh, this paint's getting a bit dry. Like I said, the canvas is not smooth, and with this being a bit thick, this paint, it sometimes doesn't flow as well over the canvas. So as you can see, like some of the wetter paint's alright. My brown in the middle, let's just put a bit more here. Gonna add it. So let's have a look. Yeah, I'll do, liking that. So just mix some of this black and brown up. Paint it on. Doesn't matter about going there, because you can always go over it. Get in a minute. Right, so I'm liking that there. So I like that. So I'm going to have, oh, let's just put a bit less paint on here. So I'm going to have, I think, one here. So it comes out like that. Could have used a thinner brush for this, but I'm just going to have it like that. So I'm going to have a tree like that, I think. And I'm going to bring one, not much there. Like that, I think. I might put that one too high there, but it doesn't matter. I can bring that out a bit more in a minute. And then we're just going to have that. Like that for a minute. So I'm going to leave. I'm liking that there, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that. Yeah, I'm just going to look at it, stand away and look at it. So I'm quite liking how that's looking now. So I'm going to go back to the greens. I'm going to get a piece of clean one here. Yeah, I know. Yeah, the video's a bit longer than I wanted, but I hope you're still enjoying it and you're learning something from watching it. So first of all, get a bit of black. No enough black. And I'll get another piece of sponge. I'm just going to check the time. Right, so black first. It's a bit of black. What are you thinking of the painting so far? Do you like how it's looking? Just got to watch tapping the canvas too hard, doesn't fall off the easel. Don't look right. It's a bit too much paint on there then, but I can sort that out now. Bring that out a bit there. I'm not the best at painting trees, still got lots to learn myself. But like I said, it's just practice. The more you practice something, the better you'll get. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have, I think, something there, I think, just to break this corner up. It's just a bit different. And I'm going to have a bit here, not much. So here. Yeah, I've added a bit of trees from the back, but that's alright. So let's have a look. Don't know, something like that, I think. Yeah, quite like that. There's a bit of a gap between these two here, but I want to keep the mountains in. I could, so I'm going to leave that. So what I'm going to do, back to the dark green first. Like I said, I had no plan for this painting really. I knew kind of what I was doing, but I think that's why it's taking a bit longer as well. So we're going to dark green first. I'm just going to press it in places, keep a bit of that black underneath. Holding this canvas just in case it falls. I'm not sure how this big tree's going to turn out, but so let's have a look at that. I need to add a few more branches in here and there. I know the other green, a lighter green, so I'll put a bit less of that on. I know some people will say, oh well, this isn't painting, this isn't spray paint art. Well, I'm still painting with spray paint, you know what I mean? I'm just, it's not like a traditional spray paint where, oh, it's all spray paint and that. But I like doing different things. I'm still like you're still using a spray paint to paint. Let's have a look at that. I think that looks a bit weird here. A bit dodgy, but we'll see. Right, so we'll go to a light green now. I'm just going to put it in places. Not sure how it's going to turn out. Bit more. What I should have done really is a green down here as well when I was doing the tree, but I can go back in a minute. Right. So that's that. Now I'm going to go back and do just a bit of light green right on the edge. Not much. Might work, it might not. Just get a different piece of sponge. Right, I'm liking that tree. I'm liking how that's looking, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get some more brown and a thin paintbrush, and I'm going to just add some extra branches in. I think, let's see. I'm gonna have to get some more brown. Let me just, because the paint's drying out. So like I said before, I'm painting in the garage right next to the door. So the bit of wind today seems to dry the paint out pretty fast. I know I'm not talking that much, but it's my voice is like croaky. So I've got some paint there, so I'm just gonna bring some more branches out. So you could just bring some out like that. Do this one a bit thicker there, coming out. Put some branches showing through the green. Doing this a light. Just bring. It dries out so fast. So what? I could just put a bit of. Let's just mix it up a bit. I know what I might do. Yeah, looking at it, I think I might just. Bring like a dead branch or something there, nothing on it. And then I got this here, the lighter brown. Just go over a bit of it on the edge here, lighten it up. Hope you're liking the painting so far and the live stream. It's a bit long, but right. Just put a small branch here. Yeah, why not? Now let me just. So can you see the paint starts getting thick when it's dry on the brush, then it's kind of hard to work with. That's the one thing I find with the Montana Gold or the thicker paints, that it's harder to work with sometimes because it dries a lot faster. Right, so I think we'll have this a bit wetter. I'm going to have to put a bit more brown in there. taking longer than I wanted to, but trying to be fast. I'm not sure whether I can get the right colour now. It'll be alright. Right, so I think I'll do for that tree. Looking a bit. I think I'll just get a bit of this here while I'm looking at it. Let's just bring it wider here. Yeah, because it's, let's just bring it. Right, so I'm going to leave that tree like that. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to do the bottom here. Right, so the tablet's gone flat that I was using. So I'll read the comments in a minute. I'm just going to do this quick here, these bushes. So I'm just going to go over a tree here. Onto our next screen. I'm going to do this pretty quick. I'll just move out of the way. Got a bit too much on there. Right. Right, so put a bit of, so you're not getting much texture now on the sponge because it's got quite a bit of paint on it. Just put a bit of green up on this bottom of this tree thing. So I'm just going to go back to a smaller sponge. Put a bit of highlight on it. With a lighter green. I like painting these landscapes. I should paint them more often so I can get better at them. So what I could do is add some more different colours into there and stuff like that, but I'm not going to. Okay, I'm just going to blacken this out at the bottom here just slightly. Just press it light. Same here. So I think the big tree could be a bit better there, but I'm going to leave it like that. I like that. Yeah, I think I might just add a couple of birds, I think, to the sky, and then that's it. So I'm just going to use a paintbrush. I'm not sure if it's going to come out alright. Might have done that a bit big, but it doesn't matter. one there. Yeah, I think that'll do. So the last thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to sign it. I'm going to use a paint pen for this because the paint will most probably be dry for the paddling knife. So I think I'm going to sign it down here on this corner. Right, I'm just going to move the camera, so I'm going to leave it like that. I'm not sure about this big tree on this side, but like I said, first time painting trees or something upright on an easel. But apart from that, I'm really happy with the way it's turned out. I really like how them mountains have turned out. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move the camera a bit so you can see it square on. I'm just going to read a comment. Thank you for everyone that's joined in the live stream. It's really appreciated. Thank you for all the feedback and everything. It's really appreciated. Appreciated. I hope you enjoyed watching it. I really enjoyed painting it. So there are going to be some more live streams. I'm not sure what the next one's going to be or when it is. It's just when I've got some free time I'll come on. So once again, thank you for stopping by and watching. I hope to see you all in the next spray paint art video. Have a great day. Take care and bye for now. I'm just going to leave it running for 30 seconds.